Oh, oui, le Golf Nationale. Our full Olympic preview, men's and women's golf with picks from the Bet365 app coming up right now. We've also got a very special guest, winner of a couple state opens back to back right here in our hometown of Colorado and Rocky Mountain region. Davis Bryant's going to join us, CSU grad, going to talk about what it's like to win a six-figure purse and much more with him coming up. Also, a weekly edition of Fairway or Four. It's hump day. Let's tee it up. Le Golf Nationale. I can't wait. I'm already excited for your weather report. But what's up, buddy? This is Big Drive Energy. I am at Big Drive Spence. He is Big Drive Mitch. We are here with another Wednesday edition for you. Olympics coming up this weekend. No PGA Tour. So we've got the most important event coming up this weekend in some guys' eyes. And I actually want to talk about that and get your opinion on it as well. But first of all, how you doing? How was your last day and a half since we spoke on this camera?
It's been good, man. Just doing a little bit of teaching. It's been hot as hell out here still. I am just ready for fall. I see you've got a Starbucks coffee in front of you. No free shout outs, but I got myself a little coffee this morning. I love walking to get a coffee, just starting the morning off right. But it is tough out here because I legit start sweating in the first 10 minutes of just being outside, just doing any movement whatsoever. So it makes it a little less pleasant to go outside. But isn't it supposed to be like really hot there today too?
Yeah, it's rough. Yesterday I was at the Toyota dealership getting myself a new truck. I will reveal once I actually have it. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in my current scenario to figure this out, but going to be getting a new Toyota Tundra here coming up quick. But I got in my Tacoma to take it home, which is kind of sad. The Taco is about to be no longer, about to retire the Taco. But I got in it and the temperature said 115 when I started the car. I'm not joking you. I thought it was a typo.
Holy shit. Well, you are that sicko though that loves a hot car. Like I do not understand whatsoever, but you are just so mentally twisted that you love to get into a car and sweat. Like I cannot wrap my head around that.
Dude, it's a free sauna. Who doesn't like a free sauna?
Not when I'm sitting in a freaking car like that. That's borderline self-harm. If you just like getting into a hot car. I mean, luckily you don't have leather in there, but you would definitely be sticking to that leather chair if you had leather seats, because you don't even like turning the AC on. Like whenever I get in the car with you, I automatically know that I'm gonna have to like twist your arm to get you to turn the AC on, which is just some sort of sick joke. Like you and I could not be more polar opposites on that front.
Yeah, I am a big windows down guy, except when we were in Chicago a couple weeks ago and I took an Uber to meet you for dinner, I had a driver that was like, hey, you comfortable? You want the windows down, windows up? And I was like, oh, windows down is fine. And then we started going like 65 miles an hour and my hair was blowing all over tarnation and I was super uncomfortable. But then I'm too much of a bitch to ask him to roll the windows up. So I just sat in it while my hair's just flying around. It was a complete disaster overall.
Well, you already told this story, but that's your fault that you have that kind of hair that you're worried about not having your window down. Like you need to rethink some things. If you're like, can you roll the window up? Like you sound like you're in White Chicks.
Dude, I know I've said this before, but my hair is me now. It's just part of me. I don't want to get rid of it. It's kind of a pain in the ass to take care of and annoying, but just who
Do you
I
think
am.
there's any fundamental issue with your identity being your hair? Should we dive into that?
There's probably some issues with it, especially since I got the skullet going on. Still waiting for this Nutrafol, so no free shout outs. I've been doing it 3 months strong every morning, waiting for the top of my head to grow some new follicles, but we'll see. It's not too promising, but I'm gonna hold out hope as long as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the dedication, but I think you need to, at some point, and I know your wife wouldn't go for it, but I just want you to shave the top of your head. I want you to shave everything but the back of your head. Like, I think that would be true commitment. You think you have an identity now, like that would be your identity 1000%.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't know. I'm going to shave my head fully again at some point and just have it be like that for the rest of my life. I just haven't figured out when to make that move. I know in 15 years, when I look back at pictures of like me as when my kid's being born and stuff, I'm going to be like, good God, what were you doing? But right now it just feels right. So I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, I legitimately can't look at you as like a serious adult with that hair. Like once you shave your head is I think when you become an adult. It's not necessarily an age thing. I think it's just like when you have an adult haircut.
Hey, who says my haircut's not adult? I cut it myself. That's as adult as it gets. Taking care of my
You
own
look
business.
you look like a 13-year-old playing competitive baseball with that haircut.
Oh, wow. That's cutting deep.
That is I mean that if you know, you get it. It hits home close if you played competitive baseball growing up and you've seen the hair, and that is now the very in thing amongst like kids 13 to 18. So I think that alone should get you to cut your hair. I do. Speaking of haircuts, I am getting a haircut next week, a few days before my buddy's wedding. And then I thought back to Scottie Scheffler's haircut right before the PGA Championship, I think it was. And now I'm like deathly afraid because I remembered you have to like let your haircut grow in a little bit. So I mean, I don't do like the super shaved sides by any means to like really worry about my tan around the neck or anything, but I still don't want to have like the too fresh of haircut for that wedding because I mean, the hair is not bad right now. If you're watching us on the YouTube or whatever, it's obviously a wreck right now because I have a hat on, but the length of it is overall fairly good. I just need the sides and the neck cleaned up. So I guess we will find out if my hair ends up looking like dog shit come next Friday for Logan's wedding.
Well, actually, funny story. Last night I was looking at myself in the mirror late night before I went to bed. And ironically, my hair is always the best, I personally think, right before I go to bed, which is worthless. But nonetheless,
because nobody sees it, right? You need to be out on the town for that.
Yeah, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, all right, what am I going to do for this wedding? Because I can't wear a hat. Am I going to rock the normal skullet? Am I going to put it up in a bun? Am I going to shave my head hours before the wedding? Because ironically, that's what I did before his older brother's wedding. And that's the last time I cut my hair. So 4 years ago in June, when his Austin and Shannon got married, is when the last time I shaved my head. So,
and I will say, like, whenever somebody asks what you look like normal without that hair, I show them the picture of you and your now wife at Austin's wedding and just how good you look with a shaved head. And I think that's really what you need to go back to because you looked like a full-blown adult male there, not a 13-year-old second baseman out of Norman, Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm a little bit more fit than a 13-year-old out of Oklahoma, at least.
I don't know. I mean, those kids are in the weight room early. They're jacked, but yeah, the shaved head for you. If anybody's really interested, go back into Spencer's Instagram and look up his Joe Exotic. I forgot the name of him. And the Tiger King Halloween outfit, because that is the costume is truly what brought you to this point. So you can really see the evolution of the entire mullet itself and everything. It is a real treat. I wish you would honestly just bleach it again if you're going to keep doing this. Just fucking make it blonde.
Yeah, I kind of do want to make it blonde again, but it was just so insanely blonde and out there that like it made it more noticeable. Right now it's obviously longer, but I don't think it's as noticeable. And it's also starting to curl, which is fire. But all right, let's get into a little golf. Enough about my fucking skullet. I'm tired of talking about this. I had a question for you and just your thoughts on it. And I think, it's funny when we do our little intro. If you're watching on the YouTube, welcome. Great. If you're not, if you're just listening to this audio, check it out on the YouTube. We always got great visual elements, including looking at us for an hour straight. So we appreciate it. Like, subscribe, throw a thumbs up on this video. But in the intro, it says there are levels to this, and that's like an all-city thing, right? And I kind of look at what the Olympics means to the players the same way. I feel like there's levels to it. And maybe I'm wrong, but where would you rank this for the players in terms of importance in their career of golf? Like, do you think now Xander's won 2 majors this year, but do you think Xander winning his first major earlier this year in 2024 was more important to him than winning the gold medal 4 years ago in Paris?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a personal response because I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer to it. But in the grand scope of things, representing your country and getting a gold medal for your country, that is, like, in my opinion, some of the coolest shit you could possibly do. But golf majors are just so important in the game of golf. If you grow up playing golf, I bet if I asked, all 4 of these guys playing this week, would you rather have a green jacket or an Olympic gold medal? I guarantee you, that's hard. I mean, I would like to say I guarantee all 4 of them are saying green jacket over an Olympic gold medal. But at the end of the day, being an Olympic player and like participating in the Olympics is just fucking it. Like, it's bigger than you. It's your country, and that is the one thing with golf that is, and Liv has introduced it a little bit, but the team factor, there's nobody backing you in the game of golf except for yourself. You're out there individually playing, you have your team, but you're an individual player. So when you get to represent like your country in the Ryder Cup or the Olympics, things like that, I think it kind of is almost a completely separate thing than playing individual golf. Like, I definitely think like players like Ian Poulter, his top career accomplishments are winning Ryder Cups and his Ryder Cup performance. So everybody looks at it a little bit differently, but I would say if a player never got a major, like if Xander never got a major but won the gold medal like he did a few years ago, I still think in the grand scheme of things, that's looked at as a pretty successful career for him.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that's kind of popped back up is I didn't even realize Justin Rose had won a gold medal. So that was back in 2016. I was just out of college, and that was the first year of the Olympics. It's funny looking at the history of golf in the Olympics because it goes 2024, 2020, or whatever, if they did the
2021.
Olympics. Okay, yeah. So 2024, 2021, 2016, and then 1904, which is insane.
Yeah, it's that's just such a weird, like, I don't necessarily understand why they took golf out of the Olympics, and that almost makes it sounds dumb, but the fact that it hasn't been like a tenured event in the Olympics almost feels like it means a little bit less right now. But I think 50, 60 years down the road to a lot of these players, it's really going to mean something when, guys like Xander Schauffele, Justin Rose, those guys are major champions now. And it almost makes you wonder if another major champion is going to win the gold medal this week, because both guys that have won the gold medal so far since golf has been back in the Olympics have both been major winners. So do you think is that like a rule of thumb? Only Olympic winners are going to be major winners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough to say because I feel like the Olympics, yes, if I had to answer your question, yeah, yes or no. But I feel like the Olympics, and I feel this week, the winner will be somebody prominent, but like silver and bronze will be like Rory Sabatini and guys like that. I don't know if a guy that's, qualified from a random smaller country that's in this that we've never really even heard his name is going to win the Olympics and win the gold. But I do believe that either one of the medalists, either second or third, is going to be somebody that we've heard of maybe, but the entire world outside of the, golf purists and people that watch golf all the time and know a lot of the guys' names is going to win. Real quick, I want to tell you all about our favorite new product, and that is Lucy Nicotine. I'm popping in a nice Wintergreen 8 right now. Phenomenal. I got my package yesterday, got them all delivered right to my door, and the berry citrus breakers, wow, unbelievable. They are as advertised as I thought they would be. Berry citrus anything gets me going every single time. But make sure you check out lucy.co and use our code BDE, and you're getting 20% off your order. They're available in pouches, gum, and like I said, the breakers. They have a capsule of liquid flavor inside that saturates the pouch. It makes it last longer. Once again, like we said, we've been nicotine users for a long time. Made the switch to Lucy recently, kind of reluctantly, to be honest, but now I'm glad I did. They last so much longer than any other nicotine product, and the pouch just feels good. It's just a good feeling pouch in your lower lip. Any of you upper lippers out there, fucking lunatics, but lower lip feels great. Nicotine is something that, we've been using, and now we get to use Lucy. And if you want to use Lucy, go to lucy.co/BDE and use code BDE to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping and has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co. Use code BDE to get 20% off and always free shipping. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Also, our great friends over at Bet365. We're going to give you our picks shortly. They're coming up. The winning picks for the 2024 Olympic Games, both men, and a bonus pick for the ladies. I bet you can't guess who we're taking, but we are taking a pick from the ladies and then doing our picks from the men, and we are switching it up. So Bet365, obviously we talk about it every single week. They have the each ways, and you can bet each way 1 through 12. Feels a little dirty because on PGA Tour and other live events, all that stuff, well, live is kind of different, but you either win or you're second place. In the Olympics, first, second, and third definitely has a little bit more meaning to it. So we're changing it up this week, and we are going with the each ways 1 through 3. So we're getting better odds from Bet365, but we're getting only the top 3 spots. So we're betting on our players to medal, basically. And then for the women's part of it, we're betting on them each way 1 through 5. So they can get first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And last Olympics, if you remember, I was kind of looking this up. There was a 7-way playoff for the bronze medal. So that could be electric. Rory was in it, didn't end up winning it, but there was a massive playoff for the bronze medal, which is cool. It brings an extra element into the Olympics in golf because on a PGA Tour event, they're like, oh, you got third, you made, 250, 300K, get out of here. Let's celebrate the winner. In the Olympics, it changes a little bit. So get over to Bet365 and bet all the Olympic sports, including golf. Use our code ALLCITY when you sign up, and you get to choose between 2 offers of a first bet safety net of $1,000 or betting $5 to get and getting $150 in bonus bets when you sign up with that code ALLCITY. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, here are official Big Bet Energy picks for the 2024 Olympics. I'll go through mine first. Just a little quick rundown of my guys and my gal. We got, of course, Xander Schauffele. He is being picked because he's the current gold medal winner, also the current major winner. So he's both of these. He's currently just the best player in the world, in my personal opinion. And the main reason for picking him is I always have one pick a week, whether it works out or not, that I would feel like an asshole if he won and I didn't pick him. So this is like a safety pick for me, Xander Schauffele. And once again, these are each ways 1 through 3. So Xander Schauffele is my first pick, and those odds are, I'm having a little trouble seeing here, so I'm going to find it on my own screen.
I think it looks like plus 250 or plus 350.
Plus 850 each way, 1 through 3.
Okay, so those are pretty good odds then. I like those odds.
Yep. We've got Shane Lowry, played really well at the Open Championship. Kind of riding a little heater in general. He's had some good finishes in the last couple of weeks on the PGA Tour and at majors. And when talking about if it means more, I think Shane Lowry's a guy that this means a lot to. Like, not saying America doesn't mean a lot to the Americans, but I do feel personally that European players and countrymen have a little bit more to play for, like a guy like you picked, who we both had, and we ended up using the boost on the guy that we had as a consensus. But Shane Lowry is my next pick at plus 3,300 each way, 1 through 3. And then I kind of went on a limb on the third pick, a little flyer. Torbjorn Olsen, he is plus 14,000 each way, 1 through 3. He is
the Thunder Bear.
The Thunder Bear has won the Ryder Cup on this golf course and had a sparkling, I believe, 4-1 record in the 2018 Ryder Cup here at Le Golf Nationale. Plays here fairly often because he's a DP World Tour player, and they play the French Open here. So he's got some familiarity with the course. Played in an important event here in the Ryder Cup. So I like the Thunder Bear, Torbjorn Olsen this week. And then my ladies pick, going with the American. She just has a cool name, and we watch a fair amount of ladies golf, not enough to be like super up on it, but I like Rose Zhang at plus 1,800 each way, 1 through 5.
I like those picks. I mean, I like the flyer with Torbjorn because I feel like somebody's going to come and, come out of nowhere virtually and finish in the top 3, get a gold or a gold medal, get a medal of some sort. So I'm going with a strictly European, almost, like not your UK European. I'm going Ludvig Aubert from, is he from Norway? Or where is
I think he's from Sweden.
Oh yeah, so Ludvig is from Sweden. I'm sorry, Victor's from Norway, if I'm remembering that correctly. If you listen to this podcast, we are not geographical experts, so don't hold us to those standards. But Ludvig Aubert, I feel like this could be similar to Xander, where he doesn't have a major yet, but he's been knocking on the door. He's still very young. So this could kind of be his big major, his quote unquote major, not a major win here at the Olympics that then propels him into winning majors down the road. So I could see that happening. He plus 2,000. Am I reading that correctly, Spencer?
That is correct.
I like how you have to take a good hard look at the TV. And then I've got Victor Hovland. I think he's another guy, similar situation, has not won a major yet, but his game is plenty good enough to win out here this week. I think he's got some experience out here as well, so that is helpful. Tough track, obviously, we've seen it before. The finishing, some of the toughest finishing holes we've ever seen. We've got him at plus 3,500. Is that correct, Spencer? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
Plus 3,500.
Looking
Perfect.
Through my shady rays.
And then we've got Matthew Pavon, the hometown Frenchman. Now I see why French people hate Americans, probably because we're just not making fun of their accent, just doing their accent very poorly. I can't speak one lick of French. That's actually a language I would like to learn at some point. We'll get my weather forecast here shortly, but I think Matthew Pavon plus 10,000. You can't not take the hometown guy. I think he's another one of those picks. And Bet365 has been offering great odds. All the books have been offering great odds on Pavon. Everybody seems to have forgotten that he's had a very good year this year. So I think it's well worth taking Pavon as well this week. And then I've got Nelly Korda. I mean, she's the best player in women's golf right now. She is not as hot as she was earlier this season, but I still think she's definitely the odds-on favorite. What am I seeing? Plus 600 or plus 500 there, Spencer?
500.
Plus 500. Okay, so Nelly plus 500. I think that is a home run.
Love that. And Nelly is currently the gold medal winner. Her and Xander obviously won last Olympics, so she's looking to go back to back as well. Let's preview the course a little bit, and then we'll get your weather report. And then we have a special guest joining us here very shortly. So Le Golf Nationale, like you said, French Open a lot, but Ryder Cup host. It's described as the beast, and the last 4 holes, all 3 of them feature water. It's got some drivable holes, which is incredible. I think it's just an overall great golf course and should provide some fireworks for the Olympics. The last tournament here in 2022, like official tournament, Tommy Fleetwood's actually won here, which is hilarious, but Guido Migliozzi won this event and made birdie on 9 of the last 13 holes. So it could go very deep coming up here in this Olympics, but looking forward to some of the pairings. Of course, we've got Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Ludwig Aubert, so they weren't messing around with that. 60 players in the field, a bunch of 4 guys from the United States, and then other dudes from a couple other dudes from each random countries. But I think the coolest part about this is the fact that just guys are playing in this that you wouldn't anticipate. And there's some names in here that, let me find some of them that are quite hard to pronounce.
Yeah, that should be good. This will be quality content here. And I will say that there is there, like you said, there's quite a few players playing from different countries, which is by definition the Olympics, so that checks out. But I will say that there's a lot more big name guys this year than there ever has been before. Like, there's been some legit no name, like not even on the professional golf map, players in past years. So I think this year is going to be even more competitive than it has been in years past, just because the field is even more stacked than it has been. So
yeah, so we've got Kita Nakajima.
That's pretty well done.
Matteo Manacero, fun name, Italian. Adrian Dumont de Deschart.
He's a real young kid. What country is he out of?
Belgium.
Okay. Yeah, he's I think he just maybe graduated from college golf, I want to say.
We've got Shubhankar Sharma, who called this one of the best finishing stretches in all of professional golf around the world. So he's representing India. And then we've got Gangajit Bultar representing India as well. Pachara Kongwatmi from Thailand. And then Tapio Pulkkanen from Finland. Joel Gerbach from Switzerland. And Zicheng Du from People's Republic of China. So
Zicheng.
Definitely some guys we haven't heard of a ton, but I do think a guy like that, maybe one of the names I just read off, will end up becoming a medalist and just going out there and balling out against, the Scottie Schefflers and the Xander Schauffele's and Rory McIlroys of the world, who are the top 3 qualifiers, along with Victor Hovland, who you picked him, obviously, could be an interesting week for him. Before we get to our interview and tell you guys about Coors Light and Shady Rays, we have to do what we do before every big golf tournament. We have a weather report from France. Remember, we're going to be talking to Greg Gomez from the golf course on Friday from France. We're going to be having him on Friday, 11 a.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Eastern. But we need a weather report. Sending it over to Les Migs with our weather report from France.
Oh, here we go. Oui, this is Mitchell Smith coming to you, and I just feel like I sound like Borat, so it's whatever. I don't even care. Oui, coming to you from Guyancourt, France. This is the Olympic preview weather report at Le Golf Nationale. So Thursday, we've got a high of 84, no moisture in the air. Just like our French fries, nice and crispy, no moisture. Friday, we've got 81 degrees. Not too warm. I take that back. Thursday, chance of rain. I misread my teleprompter. 81 Friday, sunny, and then it cools off going into the weekend. 77 Saturday and 76 on Sunday. It's looking like a wonderful week in the French countryside. Oui.
Very
That's
well
all
done.
I got.
That was good. You started to get a little bit into the English Irish
know.
accent at the end, but
I
you
know.
held it together
I
pretty
can
well.
feel it.
You held it together pretty well. All right. Before we get to our special guest, Greg Gomez said, "Bro, you sound like my Uber driver from the Paris airport." Yes, you nailed it.
Yeah,
You nailed it.
I love that shit. Let's go. That's authentic shit right there.
All right, we've got to tell you guys about our friends over at Shady Rays. Of course, I wear them always on the podcast. They are incredible golf glasses, the Green Wolves. Had a bunch of people asking me where they can get them. The answer is shadyrays.com. They're super affordable. Use code AC35 exclusively for our listeners. Listen up. Use code AC35 to save 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. I wear them on the golf course. I wear them on the podcast. I wear them in the car. I have a couple pairs in the car. I have a pair in my backpack. Shady Rays everywhere I go. They are the most comfortable sunglasses I've ever worn, and they won't break the bank. So check them out. ShadyRays.com, code AC35 to save yourself 35% off. Also, our great friends over at Coors Light. When you need a moment to chill, Coors Light is the beer I reach for. Here in Colorado, the mountains are always cold, blue, and cold, meaning the beer is cold. Even though it's 100 and whatever it is nowadays, you can crack open a cold Coors Light, whether it's on the golf course, by the fire pit, after a long day of work. Friday, 5 p.m., Coors Light always slaps. Make sure when you're looking to chill, you reach for a Coors Light. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer I reach for. When you want to hit the reset, grab the beer that is made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right. We have a very special guest joining us. His name is Davis Bryant. Look at this guy. He is currently the king of the Rocky Mountain Region State Opens. He just finished winning the Colorado Open. Big old 6-figure check walking away with. And then he's also won the Wyoming Open, former CSU Ram. Welcome to the show, Davis, and we appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to talking about the last couple months and recapping a great victory. So thank you much.
You're on a heater, man. So we got to ask you the important questions first. Does making birdies ever get boring? Because you've made $1 million in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, at these state opens, it's not like a tournament you would see on a ton of TVs or PGA Tour where it's like 8, 9, 10 under. I mean, you got to shoot 64, 63 almost every single day to keep yourself in it. So does making birdies get old? Do you ever get bored of it? Because I don't make enough and I wish I made more.
No, I love making birdies. Unfortunately, I've been able to make quite a few the last month or so. So, the game's in a great spot, and just super happy with how I'm playing and how I'm preparing, and we'll just keep the ride going. So,
we love it, man. So obviously, coming down the stretch of the Colorado Open, you're battling it out with Jim Canals, who is a little bit of like a Colorado golf legend, PGA Tour player, very well known within the state of Colorado. So how nervous were you, playing against a guy that was just on the PGA Tour in recent years? And how much confidence did it give you, first of all, winning the Wyoming Open, and then after that, after you closed it out and won the Colorado Open, how much confidence is that giving you going forward? Like, I can play with these dudes out on tour.
Well, I had the opportunity to play with Jim the first 2 rounds of the Colorado Open, so I think that helped me kind of feel a little more comfortable on Sunday. And obviously he was playing really good after his Saturday 61. So the fact that he vaulted up into a tie for second place through 3 rounds, and then Jim's an awesome dude. I met him last fall at Q School. We played a practice round together, and we just kind of had a Colorado group. So I wish Jim nothing but the best. I know he's kind of going through a career change the last few months. Now working for Ping down in Arizona, and kind of stepping away from full-time golf. But you touched on it. That confidence to be able to play against someone and beat that person who has a lot more experience than I do is huge. He's played in 44 PGA Tour events, I'm pretty sure, and he knows what to do and how to do it, and how to play really good golf to get to the top of the game. And to come out on top against someone like that just gives me a lot of confidence last weekend. But also, the Wyoming Open, it was a birdie fest. It was a course that you could be very aggressive with, and I was able to do that for 3 rounds and put together some pretty special shots and kind of convert some really great birdies, which was really fun. And I feel like sometimes playing some of those easier golf courses really gets you in a different frame of mind than playing hard golf course after hard golf course, because this game is different. We play different places, and to be able to make a lot of birdies when you need to keep the pedal down really served me well this weekend. So I'm glad that Wyoming happened first, and then the Colorado Open, and so to get that first one done, and then to play well in Iowa the week after Wyoming, and I think I was 3 shots out of a playoff in Iowa, and then to obviously keep the wave going and riding the high at home at my home course was incredible.
Yeah, so ironically, Mitchell's played in the Wyoming Open, and he won. He won a beer pong tournament Saturday night before and got so lit up that he played like shit on Sunday. But he has played in the Wyoming Open, so he can speak to not what it's like to win it, but he did win a beer pong tournament in some random-ass bar up there.
I love it. I love it. It was my first time in Cheyenne, first time at that golf course, and I told the head pro, I said I'd be more than happy to come back. So if I need that event next year, I will definitely be back. But hopefully on to bigger and better things here the next few years. So
absolutely.
Well, yeah, you made
tour.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would assume you were happy to come back to the Wyoming Open. You made 18 birdies and 2 eagles in 3 rounds up there. So you're like, if you just want to make that check out, put my name on it before I even show up, you just take a $10,000 payout every year you sign up there, then I think I wouldn't have a problem heading back there either. It did not go quite that way for me, but I know that Airport is a treat of a golf course. It is about as quirky as it gets. It's very gettable, as you showed, but it is not like there's a few holes that you can definitely make bogey on if you're not paying attention, if you're not on top of your game. So very impressive that you went out there at the Wyoming Open and did what you did as well.
Yeah, there's some holes in that front 9 where you can certainly be aggressive and make a birdie, make a pretty easy birdie. You can hit on the green or hit it just short of the green and have a pretty easy chip. But if you hit it, 20 yards this way or 20 yards that way, you can make a bogey or a double pretty easily. So fortunately, I was able to kind of get off to a good start in the tournament and play really good those first 2 days, and felt pretty comfortable. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable that 3rd day, and I felt really comfortable, more comfortable than I expected, I guess I should say, those last 2 days at the Colorado Open. I think being on my home course certainly helped, but I think also having the opportunity to get my first victory and know what that felt like and finish the deal, and kind of just have been through that 2 weeks prior certainly paid off.
So you were wearing a Pasatiempo polo the last round at the Colorado Open. Does that have any significance to you? And when does that get replaced with a bunch of sponsor logos? How quickly is that about to happen?
Yeah, Pasatiempo, we played the Western Intercollegiate in college. It's a tournament that's on Golf Channel. It's usually it starts right after the Masters, so it starts on Monday after the Masters, and it's a 3-day event. They've got TV crews out there, and super really, it's a really hard golf course. It was I played really well there, and I played really poorly there, so I've kind of got some good memories and some bad memories. But yeah, we played there my last year, and I finished I think I finished tied for 6th place during my 5th year, and just one of my favorite tournaments of college and one of my favorite shirts to wear. So I figured I'd bring it out, and I'm playing really good and want to capitalize on a great opportunity of potential people that want to get involved and want to help me, and whether that's financially or sponsorship. So certainly something I'm looking into, and would love to kind of capitalize on this time right now because I'm playing really well and would love to, get involved with companies that I have similar values with. And so we'll see what that looks like here in the next couple months.
Get this man a sponsorship. I do have a quick follow-up to that because we've talked on this pod about it. And obviously you're a different level of golfer than most of our listeners or just 99% of the population in general. But we've talked about, okay, it's like a chicken or an egg question, but do you like a course because you play well there, or do you play well at a course so that makes you like it? Like we've kind of gone back and forth on like, okay, I like this course because I play well there. And then I've had courses that maybe are great, but I play like shit there, relatively speaking. And then I don't like the course. So what's your thought on that scenario?
I usually, if I play well at a golf course, I usually like it. There's very few golf courses where I play poorly and I appreciate it, or I find that it's I would love to go back. There's a course called Merido in Texas. It's in Dallas. It's really difficult. It's really challenging. I played a couple tournaments there during college in summer, summer AM golf, and that was probably one of the few places where I really enjoyed playing because it was so challenging and it was difficult, and I knew that it would make me better. I know I still played like garbage and didn't play worth a crap, but at the same time, I think as I've gotten older, the course is the course. You're playing the course, whether you're not playing the field at all. You're trying to beat the course, and in relation to par, in relation to how everyone else plays it, that's how you're going to stack up against your competitors. So, there's courses where I go to and I'm like, this doesn't quite suit my eye. There's maybe some left to right holes, or it might be longer than some others, but as I've gotten older and gotten better and more, I guess, more skilled and more talented, I try and go to a course with no expectation and just say, you know what, everyone's playing the same place, and just try and go conquer the place and see where that puts you.
Absolutely, man. And you mentioned that Green Valley is your home course. Your dad is the general manager out there. He was on your bag. So what kind of advantage do you think that gave you playing there with your dad on the bag? And then also, we've been in the golf industry. We know what it's like. So how hard was it for him to take off those 4 days to be on your bag? Because during the biggest week, of the year for Green Valley Ranch, I mean, as a golf pro, we know that you got to be there for those big events. You want to be on top of everything. And so for him to take off and be on your bag, how much was he struggling with that?
Well, I played 3 times as an amateur, and so this was my first time as a pro. He caddied the other 3 years as well. So fortunately, he has a great staff who help him out and kind of take some stress off of his week. But between their staff and the Colorado Open staff, it's a full team effort. I mean, I've seen it firsthand from 6 years old until now, that how much time and effort and people it takes to put on such a prestigious tournament for people that are trying to play golf for a living and make it to the next level. So I think it was just a big comfort thing. We have a great relationship. He's really been my only coach I've had in the game. I've taken some lessons here and there, but we just really understand each other, and he understands my game. I don't think anyone's watched more of my golf than he has, and certainly he doesn't know my game as well as I do now, but he knows how I think, and he knows what to say at the right time. And he said something funny on hole 9 on the final day. I just hit a good wedge shot to about 3 or 4 feet, and it was an important putt. I was kind of struggling a little bit. I was kind of, just not feeling exactly, up to par, if you will. And I'm about ready to hit my birdie putt, and he's like, "Are you hungry? Do you need something to eat?" And I was like, "I'm hungry, but this is not the right time to ask this question." So I told him, "No, I'm good. I'll grab some peanuts here in a minute." But I rolled my birdie putt in and had some food on the walk over to 10. But just things like that. We kept it really light. We kept it really loose. And we were talking about random stuff. I was talking to him about what he's got going on this week at work, and the course is kind of transitioning into a new ownership group. So I was asking him questions about some of that stuff, and just a lot of exciting times for him and his staff to be able to put on such a great tournament once again, but also walking up that 18th hole to see the golf shop staff, the maintenance crew, just a bunch of people that I see on a daily basis while I'm out there practicing and trying to work on my game. To see them watch me walk up the 18th hole and have a chance to win the tournament is something I'll never forget.
Yeah, I can't imagine how proud he is being on your bag, walking up there with you as at the course he works at and like devotes his life to and puts all his effort into, and then seeing his son win not only a 6-figure check, but the just importance of the entire event to him. I can only imagine what that felt like for him and what that felt like for you. So yeah, as Mitchell said, we used to work at a golf course. We grew up and started picking balls when we were 12 years old, and then ended up, believe it or not, I was the director of golf and he was the head professional in from 2020 to basically 2022. And I thought of this morning because I was making a burrito for myself. In one tournament, we had our cook ended up having some nightly issues and didn't make it in for a tournament that we were running. So I was up cooking burritos in our golf course kitchen, and I could only make 50 or 60, and it was a 100-player tournament. They were pissed. I was like, hey, my cook's in jail. I don't know what else you want me to do. But it's just things like that people don't understand. So my question to you is, when did you know you wanted to play? Growing up with your dad being in the golf business, when did you know you wanted to play and not cook burritos when your chef gets a DUI potentially on a Saturday night?
Yeah, well, that would actually be a brand new story that he probably hasn't had to deal with. He's got millions other stories of different things he's had to handle and the different hats he has to wear. So I think I really started to see success about age 10 or 11. We did a lot of par 3 tournaments, 10 and under. I moved to a different tee box at age 11 and 14. So the big jump was basically 11 and 14 to play longer courses and stuff. I remember the summer going, I believe it was going into my sophomore year or maybe after my sophomore year. I qualified for the U.S. Junior Am, the Junior America's Cup, and a couple other bigger tournaments. And I played really, really well. And I was 15, I believe. Yeah, I was 15 years old, which is crazy to think that that's 9 years ago. But I really just – I realized my potential. I realized how much I enjoy to get better and to practice and to see that my practice had paid off and I felt more comfortable on the golf course and I was hitting better shots and I was playing, my scores were getting very consistent. And so the goal kind of from there was, okay, where can I play in college? Where can I get better? Where can I play and make an impact on the team and play in almost every tournament, if not every tournament. So, I went through the recruiting process and played every tournament at Colorado State, and it was a great experience. And then I think the success in college, I only won one time, which is better than zero, but I wish I would have gotten the job done a couple more times. But I really kind of was just on a positive trend of having my highest score not be 79 or 80, but having my highest score be 75 or 76, and then really starting to put some great scores together in the 60s consistently, and kind of seeing that and talking to my coaches and having a lot of mentors, evaluating what I want to do, and how does pro golf work? What do I need to do to get better? What things in my game do I need to get better at to excel? Because it's different. I mean, the amount of travel, you're on your own, you're booking your own stuff, you're having to try and make a check to support you for, the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months. And, hopefully you have people helping you. But the idea of this whole thing is to, try and
might have lost his audio there. We'll try to get
Keep on
Davis.
an upward.
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you for a second there, froze,
Okay.
but you're back.
Sorry. So yeah, I think that's kind of just the gist of it, and I would say kind of early teenage years and seeing some success in kind of the middle of high school, really paid off, and kind of I still remember it like it was yesterday, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I mean, to realize your dream now of winning the Colorado Open. I have one more question about that, and then we'll touch a little bit on your college career, because the iconic photo of your win was you carrying the check out in the parking lot and having the trophy with you. I saw that all over Twitter, and what a sick photo. I hope you get that framed somewhere, because that was probably one of the best feelings. But do you have any plans for that $100,000 check? Are you just funding more mini tour events, funding Q school, things like that? Or did you get the guacamole on your burrito bowl that night at Chipotle? Like you feel like you got some spending cash after that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of view I view the 6-figure check as, what can I do to make my career last longer? What can I do to get better now? Are there other tools and resources that I can invest in to make myself better and help me, get to the next level? So I think this certainly provides some stability, and I can maybe push my career an extra year or two. But also, what can I do right now to capitalize on what I'm doing, and what's out there that I can get utilize and financially be able to spend on now to get better. So the picture, my sister took that photo, and my sister Emma, who's been a great supporter of mine, and we have a great relationship. She took that photo kind of just like out of habit. We were walking out to the parking lot, and the check was like kind of falling out of my hands because it's kind of heavy, and had taken so many pictures, which is a great problem to have. And yeah, the Xfinity truck in the background there. Maybe they're interested in some type of sponsorship. Who knows? But pretty cool photo, and something kind of just in the spur of the moment she decided to take, and it turned out really good.
Yeah. So talking about going into college and your high school career moving into college, you won the 5A state championship your senior year. We're old now compared to you for sure, but we were getting boat raced by Wyndham Clark in high school. That was how our high school lives went. But so you won the 5A state championship and then decided to go to CSU. Was that like your top choice all along? Was it like you probably were already locked in by the time your senior year rolled around and you won that state championship, but were there some other schools you were considering? And what was it like to go to CSU? I know we've got here at DNVR, we've got Justin, who covers the Rams and loves Fort Collins, loves the school, and a pretty good golf team overall. I mean, you got like the Martin Laird came from there, other players, but what was it like to go to CSU, and what shaped your decision to go there?
Yeah, I was recruited from various schools. If I would have waited a little bit longer, I might have had some other opportunities. I felt very comfortable with Coach Newton at the time. He was my coach for my first 4 years, and he had been there I think since 2012. So he had kind of shaped the program in the right direction. And I knew Jake Staiano and AJ Ott, who were also on the team at the time when I started, and I think that was just a comfort thing of knowing a couple of guys on the team, knowing Fort Collins a little bit, being comfortable with the coach, and wanting to be close to home. Family is a very important aspect of my life, and I wanted to be able to see them some. I did not see them as much as I thought I would, just with everything we have going on. But yeah, Fort Collins and CSU was awesome. The resources we had, and I think the biggest thing, which is great about college golf, is the resources, or the resource you have is your teammates. You have 8 to 10 other players on the team that are all working towards the same goal. They're trying to get to the next level. At least you hope they're trying to get to the next level. And, they're all pushing you to get better. You're trying to play in every tournament. You're trying to get in the lineup, and Fort Collins was incredible. So, I had Coach Wilson for my 5th year, but Coach Newton and Coach Wilson are both instrumental in the development of the program in general, and now Coach Wilson has transitioned into he's going to Cal, where he played college golf. He won a national championship there. So wish Coach Wilson nothing but the best, and hopefully they find someone really good in the next couple weeks. But the trajectory is great. We've got I think 4 freshmen and 1 transfer coming in this fall. So a lot of new blood, a lot of new motivated, driven young men that want to make the program better than it is now. And I'm certainly excited to see what those guys can do this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it is a very good program, and a lot of professional players have come out of there. I played with Zakai Brown quite a bit a few years ago, and that dude just absolutely mashes the ball. College bio listed you as 122 pounds. Is that correct? Or because that's like the weight of my left leg. I think that you probably are a little bit higher than that. So I was like, 122 pounds. That's wild.
My freshman year, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I'm about 140 or maybe 145. With all the tournaments I've been playing, it's been hard to keep some weight on. So I need to keep eating. I need to get back in the gym. Yeah, I've always been a smaller guy. I was born 14 weeks premature. So kind of from the beginning of my life, A, I'm fortunate to be here, and B, I've always kind of had to play kind of with a chip on my shoulder, and been a lot of had to play the game differently than other players might have have the opportunity to play the game. So I think it's really cool to be able to see young kids, and there were some kids out there last weekend that are kind of smaller kids, and I got to talk with some of them, and I just hope that my impact with a kid, or with the First Tee program, which I've been able to give back quite a bit of time to, leaves a kid with a a motivating feeling to find what they're passionate about, and if they can do something that they didn't think they could do, and they see me have the opportunity to do it, that that could really be beneficial to them. So a lot of great supporters, a lot of great mentors I've had, a lot of great programs I've been a part of. The First Tee and Green Valley Ranch, being one of them, and just the amount of people we were able to meet in this great game is incredible. So that this victory is certainly something that my family and I are very, very proud about and very happy. But there's a lot of people that have been instrumental in the development of me as a player and a person, and I owe a lot of credit to those people that I'm still trying to get back to on my phone today. So it's been a fun couple days.
Yeah, I can imagine. So speaking of your, you talked about your college career at CSU. You said you only won once. God, I can't just once, man. What a lame career. But you're kind of in the opposite direction of a lot of guys that you hear about more on TV and stuff. Like they kill it in college, or they're really good, and then they get to the pro level, and they kind of fizzle out. And you have actually had almost the opposite trajectory, where yes, you were very good in college, but now your game seems to be taking off, that you're a professional. What do you think is the key to that? And obviously this is better for your future than being great in college and then having all these expectations, and not that you didn't, but getting to the pros, and now you're like, okay, now I've turned pro, and I'm winning the Wyoming Open, I'm winning the Colorado Open. Like that, what does that feel like to have your trajectory going upward even after you finish college?
It feels awesome. I talked to, when I was kind of wrapping up my amateur career and turning pro, and kind of figuring out where to start and what to play in, and how to go about the whole process. I just talked to some really close mentors and coaches that I trust, and a lot of them just said, look, you were successful at this level, you were successful at the junior level, you just need to keep continuing to get a little bit better, and don't change what you're doing just because now you're playing for some money. And so that was some of the best advice I got, because what wasn't what had already been successful and what got me here and got me to have some success at all the levels. Try and refine and try and slowly find little ways to get better. But don't start changing equipment. Don't start changing a bunch of coaching. Find resources that you think are going to make yourself better, but don't try and reinvent the wheel. So that was some of the best advice I got, and I feel like I've started to just learn how to better prepare for tournaments, how to better feel comfortable, trying to play for play for $100,000 or try and make $20,000 or $25,000 at other tournaments. So I feel like the comfort's kind of taken a little bit of time. I started off a little bit slower. I was making cuts, but I wasn't quite seeing a whole lot of success. And now I feel like I've started to kind of figure out. I've certainly played a lot better, which is great. But I think the whole process of preparing and getting ready for tournaments has been a huge factor in kind of the trajectory of what's happened the last couple of months.
Yeah, that is great advice, because a lot of people, like you said, they turn pro and then they think they have to do everything different. And in reality, just sticking with what got you there and refining some of your skills is going to be what keeps you there and what keeps you on the trajectory you're on. So this has been awesome, Davis. We appreciate it. Tell us what you're playing in next. Are you planning on playing in the Rocky Mountain Open here in a few weeks? Because that would kind of be the trifecta: Colorado Open, Wyoming Open, Rocky Mountain Open. So is that on the schedule?
Yes, yeah, I'll be playing in the Rocky Mountain Open end of August. I've got a Dakotas Tour event up in North Dakota in a couple weeks, and then I'm headed to a Corn Ferry Tour Monday qualifier this weekend. So it'd be great to go compete with those guys and see what my first event out there might look like, and keep the great golf going. So thank you guys for having me on. This has been great. I really big fan of Colorado golf and your ties to CSU and just the overall impact that the CSU can have and Colorado golf in general. So I appreciate it very much, and we'll certainly be following your guys' show in the future.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we always have said we bang the table that Colorado golf doesn't get enough love because we don't have enough big PGA Tour events. Hopefully that changes a little bit this year with the BMW, which we're still waiting on our credentials on. I'm not. We've had a few issues here in the past, so we're waiting on our credentials. But congratulations to you, man. Wyoming Open, Colorado Open, now headed to the Rocky Mountain Open. I bet everybody's like, oh, I guess we're just playing for second place because Davis is in here. Follow this man on Twitter at DM Bryant 2000. That also makes me feel old as shit because you were probably born in 2000, right?
I was born a week into 2000.
Jesus
yes,
God. Okay. We got to end this. No, I'm just kidding. But appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for taking the time. Everybody go follow this man on Twitter, Instagram, any sponsors out there. We got to hook you up with, have you talked to the Pins and Aces guys at all?
I have. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I have.
Cool.
Nicholas is great. We chat a little bit. I got some of their stuff. So great company to get involved with. He's great. So
love that. We're big fans of Pins and Aces. They're a partner of the podcast as well. So follow this man, get this man a sponsorship. Good luck going forward, and hopefully we have you on. If you win the Rocky Mountain Open, we're having you on again. No questions asked.
I will be glad to join the show again. Let's make that happen.
Sounds good. Thanks, Davis. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Man, what a cool dude. I just can only imagine the feeling of his dad, him winning that. Like what a couple of weeks. And like I think it's just cool to see a guy's professional career take off when, college career, like I said, was good, but it wasn't like, oh, this guy's in the PGA Tour, going to make the PGA Tour next year. And then he gets there and miscut. He's like, all right, I'm going to go win every state open that I play in, go to get maybe a Corn Ferry Monday qualifier. So we'll be following Davis closely, and we appreciate him tuning in. Everybody enjoy. Or you got anything?
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think people understand how impactful that win was for his career. Cause like he said that there's many tour pros all over the place that, wish for a win like that could free up themselves financially to sign up for more events and to continue their career. So I think this win could definitely springboard him onto bigger and better things. And the Rocky Mountain Open, fantastic event. I've missed the cut there plenty of times, but really fun tournament. I think that he's going to go make some birdies out of Tierrado, and I would love to have him on again. He seems like a really cool dude. So
yeah, that was awesome. Thanks to Davis. Everybody enjoy the Olympics this weekend from Le Golf Nationale, a little 1:22 a.m. tee times, mountain time. You at least got the 3:30 in the morning. So wake up. It's still coffee golf. I love this. I kind of wish we had this every year where you get like, there's not a massive come down after the Open Championship because now you got the Olympics. But everybody enjoy the Olympics. We'll be back Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time with our boy Greg. He's going to tell us all about Paris, France, Le Golf Nationale, the golf course, and the players. We're going to have a great time talking with him on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Everybody enjoy these next couple of days. Enjoy the golf. We'll talk to you on Friday. Peace.
peace.
We all silly like the mayor.